So back in February, I made a video commentating on an Earth 2 tech demo that had been released a couple of months prior. And to this day, that video is one of my most popular videos on my channel. Now that's not saying much. My channel right now has 63 subscribers, and the video itself only has about 2,500 views, but nevertheless, it was still a relatively popular video for me. This video also, by the way, has been one of my most disliked videos that I've put out, and I can speculate on the reason why. I personally think that Earth 2 is pretty much irrelevant now, and the only people who are really looking at Earth 2 content are people who invested. So whenever a video comes out that's kind of critical of the stuff that they're investing in, well, they get a little upset. This video also had a good amount of comments as well. And as I filtered through the comments, I noticed that a lot of people actually were pretty understanding of the game and my position from it, and for the most part were agreeing with me. But there was still that subset of people who just didn't want to hear it. And I saw tons of comments that were all like the length of a thesis statement for a PhD paper, talking about how I was dumb and I didn't understand development, and how somehow I was wronging them and I was talking shit about a game that wasn't even out yet, and yada 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 yada. And believe it or not, the other day, while I was standing in line waiting for my Chipotle mobile order, because for some reason, whenever you select the time that you are coming in to pick up your food, that's like a suggestion, I guess. I don't know, because the food is never ready at that time. Anyways, I digress. While I was waiting in line for my mobile pickup order at Chipotle, I looked down at my phone and saw a notification come across my screen, and it was a comment from some user on one of my videos. Now, I operate another channel, and that other channel has a decent amount of subs and engagement, especially compared to this channel. And so I thought maybe I had just forgotten to switch back to kind of my account that I use for just general everyday stuff. So I log in, I look at it, and as it turns out, someone was commenting yet again on my Earth 2 video, which has been out for like 6 months at this point. The comment was just too long. There was just so many words on it, and I really didn't want to take the time writing out multiple paragraphs to respond to everything that this guy was saying. And also, looking back at my old comments as well on that video, I noticed that there were a lot of other people saying similar things. So I thought, I could do some more Earth 2 content and criticize it a little bit more. So I'll just go ahead and break down the comments and come up with responses and rebuttals and see if there's really anything that I may have messed up on. So let's get some disclaimers out of the way. First of all, I'm going to be playing some stupid gameplay in the background while I'm talking. This is going to be a throwback to like 2014 YouTube, where no one had face cams and they would just talk over video game footage. So I'm going to go back to that, and I'll probably play like Baldur's Gate 3 or like some actual video game. So let's get into the video. Now, if you're new or you just forgot what Earth 2 is, let me educate you a little bit. Earth 2 is a company game development studio, I guess, which is trying to create a 1-to-1 scale replication of the Earth in the Metaverse. So the first comment we have here says the following: the interesting aspect of your video is that while you appear to maintain an impartial view, at the end of your video you place a "remember, don't buy into Earth 2. I'd love to hear why you felt the need to do that. First of all, the first thing I want to say is, I don't have an impartial view on Earth 2. I don't think anyone has an impartial view on anything. We all have biases, and we will all see things through our own perspective. Whenever I said I wanted to maintain an impartial view, I wanted to maintain an impartial view while viewing the video. I don't like Earth 2. That should have been fairly obvious by the title, the thumbnail, and the commentary I was providing throughout the entirety of the video. I wanted to give the tech demo that Earth 2 put out a fair chance. I wanted to view it without really thinking about all of my preconceived notions of what Earth 2 is. I wanted to look at this tech demo and see what truly was happening. The fact of the matter is, if Earth 2 can really actually pull this off, it would be a pretty cool game. I mean, a game where you can literally do whatever it is that you want to do in a metaverse that is the size of the entire planet. You're telling me I could go out into the middle of the desert in like Saudi Arabia or something and build my own like shopping center, and then other players could come into that shopping center and like rent like building spaces out from me, and I can make real legit money from people renting storefronts inside of my game. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And why I felt the need to add in the part, remember, don't buy into Earth 2 at the end of my video, it's because I don't think you should buy into Earth 2. That's my opinion, and the video is on my channel, and I don't think that Earth 2, definitely right now, maybe ever, is worth spending any money on whatsoever. Do you support emerging projects? Or try to tear them down? Yeah, I do support emerging projects. I have been at the forefront of many emerging products. I have provided feedback and play tested many different games. But that's the thing. I've play tested and provided feedback. Me providing feedback, while it might be negative feedback, it is still feedback. If the only feedback that you want me to provide is how great the game is and how excited I am for it to be done and only be positive, that's not a good way to look at game development, especially for something that is as ambitious as Earth 2. That's how we get mega bloated companies like, I don't know, Activision Blizzard, who continually put out horribly shitty games that aren't fun and are just blatant cash grabs. I don't try to tear anything down. You guys remember No Man's Sky? I was so hyped for No Man's Sky. I thought it was going to be sick to have a universe that I could play with my friends on, and we would be able to fly around in our spaceships and go to whatever planet we wanted to and build whatever we wanted to on that planet. I thought it was going to be super cool. But if you guys don't remember what No Man's Sky did, it was horrible and it was terrible. My computer, I had so many issues with running it. It was always crashing and nothing was as it said it is. There wasn't even multiplayer in the game. Another game is Identity. I was a Kickstarter backer on Identity, but guess what? Guess what happened to Identity? I put in my money on Kickstarter, I backed the project, and I sat there and waited. And as it turns out, the project was too ambitious for the indie developers who were making it, and it fell apart. It died. Oh god, dude. Oh god, no. Oh, please. Is that financial advice based on your extensive research? Oh my god. I think just the fact that you're asking me if me saying don't buy Earth 2 is financial advice really proves what exactly Earth 2 is. It's not a fucking game. It's an investment platform. It's people trying to invest in the next Bitcoin, the next Ethereum, and they think that digital real estate is going to be all the rage, and I need to get in early and spend thousands of dollars early so that whenever this game gets developed in 10 years, maybe I can 10x my money. That might be the first time I've ever heard someone call not recommending someone buy a game financial advice. That's wild. Yeah, I've done plenty of research on Earth 2. As a content creator who has covered Earth 2 extensively, there are many aspects of your video that are clearly misinformed due to lack of research on your part, or because you listen to the diatribe of what we call scam tubers. Oh, no. So I thought that this guy was an Earth 2 content creator that had extensively covered it. But I went to his channel and I don't know if I'm missing something, or maybe he has a second channel or something, but all of his videos are like yoga videos or like stretching videos, which is cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. But none of this is Earth 2 related at all. So I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about with that one. I don't see any content of yours talking about Earth 2 at all. And of course, I love that. No, it's not me who is scamming. It's not Earth 2 who is scamming. It's the YouTubers who are criticizing it. They're the scam tubers. That is like the biggest like copium of I've probably ever seen, honestly. Like that's crypto space on steroids right there. Like that is the whole entire crypto space. Many of whom have begrudgingly rescinded their earlier allegations, insinuations, without apology, I might add, and now nitpick on loading screens in a developing platform that they obviously claimed they're never going to be built. So I was actually really interested in this part. So I looked at some of the people who I know have made Earth 2 content. People such as Big Fry, Kira TV, let's see, Callum Upton. Yeah, so I didn't find any videos in their catalog of videos that were apologizing or rescinding their allegations at any point at all. And as for nitpicking on loading screens in a developing platform, yeah, you should, especially whenever you say that your game is going to be seamless and not have any loading screens. If you're saying your game is going to be seamless, all right, follow me here, follow me. If you're saying your game is going to be seamless, and as you're saying that, you're showing gameplay, and during that gameplay, there are loading screens, that means that your game is not seamless. Now, of course, I agree, okay? It is a developing title, and maybe they haven't figured it out yet. Maybe they're still working on it. I completely agree. You're right. The criticism was levied against the video production itself. If you're planning on having a seamless world where there are no loading screens, you just kind of move through the world, right? Then I'm not understanding why we would have loading screens displayed in our technology demo. It's a tech demo. You're showing off the technology, and that it's not seamless in the technology that you're showing. They're early in development. It's only been 3 years. They haven't figured out how to go up the elevator without cutting in a goddamn loading screen. All right, this is my next favorite part here. This is truly my next favorite part. Coming from a gaming background, their battle cry has always been, "Where's the game?" That's true. Where is the game? Right now, you can just buy and sell tiles of land, and you can collect this like ether stuff, and there's like resources, but you can't really do anything with the resources. It's just, there's nothing going on. And while most of the production value, economics, and interactions in a metaverse platform will have gamification elements, it is not primarily a game. Now, there's a comma here, I'll continue on, but I want to address that point. The reason that people are asking, where's the game? Is because you're marketing it as a game. You're saying it's gonna be like Ready Player One. It's gonna be like Minecraft, right? That's what we've heard. It's gonna be like Fortnite, all put into one. Your own website says view game activity on it. You refer to the people who are supporting you as players.
And the initial gameplay inside version 1 of the 3D Earth we are developing.
Players could escape inside Earth 2 with the blink of an eye.
The game footage throughout this video displays clear representations of environments and vehicles players can create, customize, and use in-game via our editor tools. Bring their extensive game and world-building experience to the project.
So I don't understand. At the same time, you guys are saying it's a video game, you're also saying, oh, it's gonna actually have gamification elements. It's not actually gonna be a game, it's gonna be gamified. Okay, and after his comment, he says, but a platform that will also contain games. Originally, this was supposed to be like Ready Player One, right? That's what they were saying. It's supposed to be like Ready Player One. It's supposed to be like Minecraft. It's supposed to be like Fortnite, all put together onto a full Earth. I think that they probably have noticed how difficult it's going to be. So they're starting to say, well, maybe it's not going to be a game. Maybe it'll just be a game hub. Maybe we'll just have a hub where you can pass through worlds. And I may have cut it out of the video that I did because I thought it was kind of irrelevant. But I definitely remember in that tech demo, I'll put footage up right now of it. But in that tech demo, I definitely remember seeing people walk through portals with their avatar and then the game load. Okay, right? Like I'm confused because I was told that Earth 2 was going to be the game. Most of the people interacting in the metaverse will not be stereotypical gamers, nor will the majority of experiences be games. Huh, that's really weird. So what is the point of the metaverse then? Is this just another way to sell like cryptocurrency to people? I'm confused. But don't worry, he breaks it down for us. He says, there will be retail stores, events, trainings, fitness classes, social media, virtual offices, universities, companies will conduct market research. There will be play to earn games, AR advertising, and promotions, concerts, art galleries, etc. Cool. So it's going to be pretty much all this stuff that we already have in the real world, but instead you're just going to do it in Earth 2 for some reason. That's really, really cool. Companies will conduct market research, so they're going to advertise. So there's going to be advertisements. Also, by the way, what are you going to buy from a retail store inside of Earth 2? Oh, by the way, in that video, we looked at some of the stuff that you could buy. You could buy pretty much NFTs. Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad we're going to buy NFTs in Earth 2. That's cool. He also says all this other stuff about events trainings, fitness classes, social media, virtual offices. Dude, I swear to God, if I have to start going to the metaverse to go to my virtual office, I'm gonna be so mad. That's so dumb, dude. That's gonna be like like 2050. The pinnacle is gonna be like you wake up from home, you roll out of bed, you go over to your computer and log in. You have to wake your character up in the metaverse, okay? You're gonna have to wake your character up in the metaverse. You're gonna have to get your character out of bed, all right? You're gonna have to brush your teeth in-game, okay? You've already brushed your teeth IRL, but you're gonna have to brush your teeth in-game. And then you're gonna have to walk your character, drive your character to your virtual office inside of the metaverse, and then you're gonna have to go up to your office, log into your laptop in the metaverse, and then that will pull up your actual work hub. That is probably one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard in my life. I also like how he says there will not be stereotypical gamers in the metaverse. Dude, that's like the whole entire thing. Like, that's the whole demographic of the metaverse. It's like, it's people who like want to play games, dude. It's gamers, man. Like, your grandma is not going on to the metaverse to like watch a Travis Scott concert, dude. So, a few points. 1. The avatars are produced by Ready Player Me, which they have a partnership with. So, I looked up Ready Player Me, and I will admit, it looks kind of cool. So, if you're not familiar with Ready Player Me, it looks like an open source developer kit for Unity and also Unreal Engine. It's essentially just an avatar creation kit. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. My issues with the avatars that are in Earth 2, really, I think I did criticize the style. At this point, I don't give a shit about the style. Okay, fine, right? The style of the avatars is cartoony. My concern with the avatars was more of the animations were extraordinarily rudimentary. There was no display of how to customize the characters. Even going on Ready Player Me's website, I saw a quick video on their website about how the character customization works. They could have at the very least put that into their technology demo. They could have done that. That would have been cool. But my main concern was the animations being jank and the scaling of the avatars was even more jank. 2. Showing the customizable elements of how to make everything would have made this video 3 hours long and very boring for the general public. I agree. A 3-hour-long video from Earth 2 would be very boring, not just to the general public, but to anyone who isn't a diehard fanboy of Earth 2. But the thing is, whenever your game is so unbelievably ambitious to the point where you're going to create a second Earth, you should be showing off some of the features of your game. My problem with the video at large was it really didn't show a lot. It said quite a bit. It said there would be fully customizable avatars, right? You could build cities, you could look at all this cool stuff that's in this guy's apartment in the metaverse, right? Isn't this cool? But it didn't really show us any user interface, any customizability. And the reason that the customizability of everything is so important is because it actually shows what the hell you can do in the game. It shows that the game is actually a real thing. The customizability of the characters. That's like a pretty default thing. And look, if you don't want to have a 3-hour-long video, right? The video was already pretty long from Earth 2. You can release multiple different videos that, hey, this is like a 3-minute video showing you how you can customize your character. Because like I said, you're seeing it right now, how the characters are customized on Ready Player Me. It's not that hard. Whenever the words popped up on the screen and said fully customizable avatars, you could have showed how the avatars were customized. Whenever words were popping up on the screen saying that you could build cities as players, you could have showed an editor that would allow you to create buildings or to create roads. You could have showed like a SimCity editor. Now there is some stuff on their website which shows you how buildings work currently, but it is the most rudimentary shit I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you're essentially drawing little blue rectangles on a 2D Earth. A 2D image of the Earth. In your technology demo, that is supposed to be a demonstration of the technology that you have, you should be demonstrating the technology that you have. It shouldn't be jaded and hidden. You should show the interactions. You should show something. 3. AI integration is an obvious progression for all metaverse platforms. I doubt you will be able to find one platform that won't utilize it at some point. Now, this is probably true, but I'm not really sure where in that video I talked about AI integration. You're right, every game, even like to this day, has AI. Listen, let me look at the game. Look at the gameplay right now. Look at the gameplay right now, all right? It's Baldur's Gate, right? Or it's some other shit, but it's Baldur's Gate, right? It's some game. There's artificial intelligence in my game right now. I'm interacting with them to build the story, to build the setting. So yeah, you're right. The AI integration will 100% be in probably all video games. It already is in all video games, man. I agree with you on this point. There you go. You got one over on me. You got one on me there. 4. If you have a better way of selling land than using a map-based system, I'd love to hear it. Oh god. Okay, here we go. So my problem with Earth 2 is not that there's a better way to sell land. It's that you're selling land in the first place. Dude, that's my problem. Yeah, selling land on a map-based system probably makes the most sense. That's right. But I think you're missing the criticism that I was levying against Earth 2. It's the fact that you're marketing a game that's supposed to be like Ready Player One, but the only thing you can do in the game is buy and sell land. That's it. The core mechanic is buying and selling land on a map. Actually, hold on. Here is my one single recommendation for selling land in this game, though. Build the game first. Build the metaverse first. Are we following? Everyone following? Class, listen up. Are we following? And then sell land to people inside of the metaverse. People would probably be a lot more hyped if they can log into a metaverse, right? Spawn into a town or whatever, a city, and they could run down to the local, I don't know, city hall or something, and they could go up to a board or a computer inside of the game. Sorry, not game, metaverse. And they could click on that computer, and that computer would open up and show them all these parcels of land that are for sale. And then you could buy them from there. That would be a better way of doing it. 5. What kind of resources do you use to create buildings? There's an evolving tech tree with abilities to harvest, trade, utilize, or sell those resources. Well, that's the idea, right? That doesn't actually exist in the game. You can't build shit in the game yet. I mean, I guess you kind of can. Like, you could draw like blue boxes. You should have, you know, to build buildings using resources, of course, but you can't do that yet. That's the criticism. I don't know. How deep are we going to go on this? Are you going to just need the concrete resource, or are you going to need, you know, water and concrete mix, right? Are you going to have to actually craft the asphalt, or are you going to just buy the resource, right? Am I going to have to, while I'm in this metaverse, am I going to have to rent construction equipment? Am I gonna have to buy oil from a Saudi prince so that I can fill my excavators with fuel? How long is the building creation gonna take? You're saying it's a metaverse, right? We're gonna have retail stores and all that other dog shit you're saying. So am I gonna have to actually hire a construction crew inside of the metaverse to come in and actually physically build and put together my building inside of the metaverse? Like, these are questions that are being asked that we have no answers to. 6. Contrary to your statement that it has no utility, Essence has a lot of utility within the platform, including creating side droids, buying EPLs, crafting higher tier jewels, boosting performance, powering vehicles and buildings, and can be used to stake on resource claims with much more utility to come. Awesome. Just an FYI, whenever I made this first video, not only was I not really talking about anything outside of the video that I was kind of commentating on, none of this shit existed whenever I made that video. This is all new. This is all like June 18th shit. Okay, so, but if I remember, I believe Essence is actually a cryptocurrency. I would argue that it still has no utility. You're saying that you can use it to create side droids and buying EPLs and crafting higher tier jewels, all stuff that you can do inside of this game, sorry, metaverse, not a game, metaverse. Cool, it still has no utility. Let's take, for instance, something like, oh, I don't know, what's a good thing? Oh, like Call of Duty. In Call of Duty, you have COD points. It is an in-game currency, and the only utility that it has is to buy items in-game. Earth 2, on the other hand, already has in-game currencies. However, for some reason, they're deciding that they want to release a crypto token. The thing about Earth 2, there's so much shit. Like there's just so much different like currencies and different like, oh, you've got to use your essence to buy EPLs, and then you can use your ether that decays after 48 hours to buy jewels, and then you can use those jewels to find resources, and like it's just so like convoluted. It just doesn't make sense to the layman. Like on one hand, the Earth 2 community is saying that gamers are not the primary demographic, and this game is going to be, oh sorry, not a game, Metaverse is going to be like open to the general public. You're also saying that having a video where it shows any customization or any like deeper features of the game is going to be too boring to the general public, but yet you think the general public is going to be able to understand the like 50 different things that you have to do to get a goddamn resource, right? And also, by the way, my main criticism with Essence, aside from there being no utility, is it is yet another item that you have to spend real money on. Essence does now have some utility within the game, apparently, to create these jewels and boosting performance, powering vehicles and buildings, etc. But there's no buildings in the game, dude. There's no vehicles in the game. So if I want to drive a vehicle around in Earth 2, I have to buy some of your cryptocurrency, which is presumably going to burn up because I'm using it to power my vehicle or to power my building. So those are like the 6 points. We're going to finish out this this comment. But I think ultimately this really missed kind of the point that I was talking about. The technology isn't there, and even if it is there, this is so convoluted. The level of convolution to this is insane, especially for a game where we can't show any customization. We can't show that much stuff because we'll lose the interest of the general public, but yet you think the general public is going to be able to understand like all of the different things, like the essence, the ether, the e-dollars, like all of this stuff. You think they're going to be able to understand all that? No, they're not, okay? They're not. Their focus on creating multiple uses for Essence before releasing the token is an incredibly smart move, as most tokens have no utility at all. Players will need Essence for many of the functions within the platform and be less likely to just dump upon listing. This guy is actually like, he's so close to like, he's so close. Yes, most tokens have no utility at all. Same with Essence. The only utility that it has is within Earth 2. And the only utility that would ever exist within Earth 2 is if this stuff is, number one, implemented, and number two, is actually used for something. If you don't want people to dump upon listing, then why are you making it a cryptocurrency at all? Why are you introducing the volatility of a cryptocurrency? Why can't we just have the e-dollars be used to buy Sidroids? Why can't we just have the e-dollars being used to buy EPLs? Why can't we just have the e-dollars used to be crafting higher tier jewels? And I think that's why they went with a crypto instead of just having an in-game currency. Because they're trying to build this like metaverse that can make as much possible money as it can. To actually use this platform, you're going to have to be consistently buying Essence on the market, or somehow buy some land and have your Essence generated from that, I guess. People are going to be forced to go to the secondary Essence market and buy their Essence off of there at raised prices. That's how it's going to work. And if you're telling me that Essence is going to be required for doing a lot of mini, as you say, mini functions within the platform, while your advice is to not buy into Earth 2. Oh my god, dude, no way. No way. Investment is not essential to earn money on the E2 platform. Holby, what? You moments ago, like last paragraph, said that Essence was going to be necessary for many of the functions within the platform. And then you're saying investment is not essential to earn money on E2. What do you mean? In reality, investment is the only way you can participate in Earth 2, especially as the game sits right now, which, by the way, this has been like 3 years of this game being like this, by the way. This 2D map box shit has been like 3 years. Oh my god, this next part is even more insane. Take a moment to think about how the ability to earn US dollars online with no investment will impact third world countries. Oh god. Okay. You do have to invest, actually. And the audacity to even suggest that Earth 2 or crypto as a whole is going to positively impact third world countries? Are you insane? Are you insane, my guy? You have to invest in Earth 2. That's the only way to make money. You can't do jack shit by just having an account. You really think people in third world countries are going to be able to afford to hop on the fucking internet and pay some guy $100 so that they can buy a plot of land and put a fucking single-story building on it so that they can extract some freaking resources? And then you expect that person to read through all of your articles about all of the stupid shit that you have to do to actually make any fucking money? People in third world countries have way worse problems, dude. They're trying to figure out like how to fucking eat. They're trying to figure out how to fucking stay alive. That actually pisses me off so much that you're even suggesting that Earth 2 is going to benefit anyone in the third world country. With so many options, players will simply not be able to do everything themselves. Many tasks will inevitably be subcontracted to other players or guilds using a blockchain smart contract. Casual players who don't own land can currently earn income by creating holo buildings or blueprints with the holo editor, or by flipping jewels in the marketplace. Given the relevancy charts of Google Trends, Earth 2 is almost at an all-time low in terms of relevancy. With that in mind, the world is going to have such a small amount of actual space that's being used by the player. Flipping jewels in the marketplace? How the hell do you get jewels if you don't own any land? Oh, that's right. You have to buy them. But wait, I thought you didn't have to make any investment. Oh god, okay. Yes, we're still going through this single comment. Yes, I've been recording my voice for over an hour, and we're not through it yet. As an experiment, one player started a free account and began designing and selling holo buildings for free. To date, he has sold 480 holo buildings at an average price of $1.16, which equates to $560.34 in revenue. From this withdrawable revenue, he bought land, which produces jewels and essence. And he crafted some higher tier jewels and sold them in the marketplace to buy more land. Currently, his portfolio contains 2,446 tiles with a net worth of $2,538.71 and 3,227 essence for zero investment. Okay, source? Source anyone? And you don't mention anywhere on this how long it took him, how much time he spent going through and making these holo buildings, how long it took for him to actually sell them, how long it took for him to buy land and collect these jewels and essence, and then ultimately how long it took him to craft these higher tier jewels and how long it took for him to actually sell those jewels on the market. I mean, like, this is just like an anecdotal example that I think doesn't really hold a lot of water. Construction and transporting resources will be labor/time intensive, and players will participate in these tasks for a percentage of the profits or a designated wage. I haven't seen anywhere in Earth 2 actually say that, and this seems like more speculating, which is what I think a lot of people in the Earth 2 community who are still a part of this community are doing. It seems like everyone is speculating on what could or what might be, but no one is really talking about what is and what is possible. And after 3 years of development, you would think they would have something that would be 3D, right? I wouldn't still be on Mapbox at least, right? Interior/exterior design, vehicles, and avatar fashion will also offer income streams for creative individuals. That's great, dude, but it doesn't. We're still on a Mapbox, man. We're not even 3D yet, dude. You don't even have your avatar in the game yet, man. Earth 2 was always proposed as a 10-year project with much of the evolving technology required, which was initially scoffed at as not even existing, already being released. The evolving technology required not being scoffed at? What do you mean? Like the metaverse that like Facebook has created? Like metaverse like that Facebook is doing? You know, Facebook, the multi-billion-dollar company, and they're still having trouble getting people to actually use the metaverse because it's actually just kind of a gimmick. It's Mapbox. We're on Mapbox, my guy. You're using Ready Player Me, which is an avatar creator open source SDK. You said that your game was going to be seamless, and it wasn't. Even in your technology demo, it still isn't. Quantum computing, edge computing, AI, scalability with hundreds of thousands of players online concurrently, better mobile networks, GITF, USDZ, and 6G. Are you unaware of these developments? What does any of that have to do with Earth 2, my guy? You really think that Earth 2 is going to, number one, be able to afford, and number two, implement quantum computing? If you don't know what quantum computing is, it's kind of a new way of computing. It uses qubits that can represent 0 and 1 at the same time instead of traditional computers, which a transistor is used, which can only represent 0 or 1. So it does speed up processes a lot. It's pretty wild to like talk about quantum computing and then go and look at Earth 2's website right now and just see like a map box. Scalability with hundreds of thousands of players online concurrently. I don't think there is a single game that hundreds of thousands of people are all playing seamlessly together on a planet-sized game world, all at the same time on the same server. I don't think that there's a game that does that. Better mobile networks? I don't even... What does mobile networks have to do with Earth 2? What? I'm aware of these developments, but I don't understand how these are going to help Earth 2 in any way. And I don't think you do either. And I don't even think Earth 2 developers actually know, because there's not really any mention of any of this. It's just kind of, oh, we're going to do it and it's going to work. Oh, this next part is good. So was this decision to start building a platform ahead of the emerging technology required to complete it visionary or idiotic? I got a newsflash for you, my guy. It's idiotic. If the technology doesn't exist, and you're banking on some other company to develop the technology, what are you doing? You completely missed the whole entire point of what I was saying, okay? If you're, number one, two things. Number one, Epic Games, Facebook, Microsoft, these other massive companies that make billions of dollars are unable to get interest in the metaverse. Why is Earth 2 going to be any different? Why is Earth 2 going to be any different? Especially whenever it's monetized to hell and back. Especially whenever you have to make investment after investment to buy any land. And number two, those companies aren't asking you to fund them the whole entire way. Those companies are funding themselves the whole entire way. My problem with Earth 2 isn't that they're trying. If Earth 2 came out and said, yeah, we're going to start building this, just, check out our devlogs. And they didn't ask for any money, and they didn't have a map box with a grid on it that you could buy land from other people on, I wouldn't have any problem with it. I wouldn't make any videos about it. I would just ignore it. Your comment slowly shifted away from being about Earth 2 and into being about the metaverse and the investments that companies have made in the metaverse. And that's where I think you really missed the point of the video. I wasn't criticizing the metaverse. I wasn't criticizing Facebook. I wasn't criticizing Microsoft. I wasn't criticizing even Roblox. I wasn't criticizing any of the companies that have been making investments in the metaverse. I was simply criticizing Earth 2. Because I think it's a cash grab that will ultimately not be useful for much of anything. I think after 3 years of still being on Mapbox, I don't understand why you can't at least release like a small piece, like why not just release like a Chicago-sized area or something where players can actually hop into the metaverse and see what the game is going to be about. But ultimately, look, if you want to buy Earth 2, fucking buy Earth 2, dude. Who cares, right? It's your money. Waste it where you want to waste it. I don't care. But I'm going to continue to tell people to not buy Earth 2. Not because I think the metaverse is dumb. Not because I think the metaverse isn't going to be a thing. Not because I don't think it's going to work. But because I don't think Earth 2 is going to be the one to implement it. Thank you so much for leaving that comment. It actually really... I visibly like laughed out loud inside of this Chipotle whenever I saw your comment pop up on my screen. It was very funny. But ultimately, I like that we can at least have this dialogue here. I hope that I've explained myself a little bit better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next critique.